Okay, here's my audience. Okay. Almost exactly 10 years ago to the day, when I was in 4th grade, my family and I started our day out like any other. We hopped in the car and went on the way to school to pick up our carpool. When we were about a minute away from our carpool's house, we reached a 4-way stop. We came to the intersection, and my mom saw that there was a car on the right-hand side, but she didn't think anything of it because she thought they were going to stop. Soon she realized that they were not going to stop, and they ran through the stop sign, so my mom put on the gas to get as far away from the car as possible, but unfortunately she was not able to avoid being hit by the car. We flipped 6 times and landed upside down in a ditch, and I was knocked unconscious. The next thing I remember, I woke up on the side of the road to a bunch of people surrounding me, and I told them that my arm hurt, and they explained to me that I had been in a car accident and that I was going to be put in a helicopter and medevaced to Johns Hopkins Hospital, where I would spend the next few weeks of my life. I had broken my hip, my pelvis, and the bones in my arm had slid on top of each other. Normally, you would have a surgery to repair these injuries, but I had a brain bleed, so they were unable to put me under for surgery because I would not be able to wake up. So the morning that I was supposed to have my surgery to repair my brain bleed, we had a CAT scan taken, and it showed that my brain bleed had stopped for no apparent reason. My sister had sustained injuries too because she was sitting right next to me where the car was hit, and she had a spinal hematoma, and she also broke her hip and broke her pelvis. These injuries are very common in car crashes because the seatbelt, when it locks, it breaks your hips and your pelvis in order to stop you from being thrown out of the car. We were very thankful that we had these injuries because it can be so much worse. A family that was brought in a few hours before us were wearing their seatbelt improperly, and their internal organs were all crushed, so unfortunately none of them lived. So it's so important to wear your seatbelt properly along with just wearing it. How many people in here have ever put the shoulder strap of their seatbelt behind their backs? Okay, so everybody. So it's so important to not only wear your seatbelt, but to wear it correctly. According to the Governor's Highway Safety Association, nearly every state has some sort of law that requires you to wear a seatbelt. There are primary and secondary laws. Primary laws mean that you are allowed to be pulled over for not wearing your seatbelt, and even if you have not committed any other traffic violations. Secondary law mean that if you are pulled over and you are not wearing a seatbelt, then you can receive a ticket. According to the National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, motor vehicle crashes are the leading cause of death for the past 3 decades. More than half the people killed in car crashes were not restrained at the time of the crash. Seatbelt use is on the rise, but people still do not wear their seatbelts. I'm sure everybody has gotten in a car where they might have been wearing their seatbelt, but at least one other passenger in the car was not wearing their seatbelt. I know it might be a little uncomfortable to tell your friend or someone you don't know to put their seatbelt on, but it is so important that you do. If you get into a car accident and one person in the car is not wearing their seatbelt, then they can act sort of like a pinball in a pinball machine and knock around the car and kill or injure every single person in the car. According to the Association for Safe International Road Travel, nearly 1.3 million people die per year in car accidents. That's 3,287 people that die per day. Over 53% of the people in fatal car crashes were not wearing seatbelt. This means that over half of the deaths can be preventable. Hopefully I've convinced you to wear your seatbelt, but I don't want to stop there. Tell your friends and family to put on their seatbelt. Refuse to drive your car until everybody in the car has on their seatbelt. Remember how I said that 3,000 people die per day from car accidents? You do not want this to be you or a loved one, so please spread the word. The next time you get into a car and hear that annoying beeping noise, don't ignore it. Buckle in. You won't regret it.